This week on License to Kill Outdoors, Floyd is on the quest for a giant 170-inch buck we call Torch, and he's fixing to wear himself out if that's what it takes to get him. Down on a big old beast like that. Everything's giving me, baby.
The guy we're after.
We're watching License to Kill Outdoors. This week we tell the story of a buck we nicknamed Torch. Floyd has him in his sights, and he's not going to give up until he gets a crack at him.
Alright guys, it's November 20th. I got Papa Dean running the camera. Our landowner is cutting the corn out here in front of us. First time into this spot, so we're just kind of doing a little scouting. If the big shooter comes out, that's just bonus. So stick with us. You're watching License to Kill Outdoors, and we're hunting Torch, so we'll see if he makes it out here.
Dad and I were set up on this big cut cornfield, and we set on the opposite side of where we thought all these deer were going to come out, and we had high hopes of maybe catching a sighting of Torch, but little did we know he was going to be the first deer out in the field. When this buck steps out, he's over 400 yards away, and we didn't think we had a chance in the world of this buck making it to us until he turns and starts heading directly across the field right at us. So our hopes were high. We got the camera equipment ready, I got my gun ready, and all of a sudden he just looks up and freaks out and runs to the edge of the woods. And he kept looking up towards our lane, and little did we know that the farmer was coming back up to get some of his machinery, so he kind of boogered him up, but nonetheless we got a sighting of him. I think this buck was just trying to taunt me. He comes right back out, and then he goes right back in. After that evening came to an end, I didn't get a crack at this buck, but I had no doubt in my mind that I wasn't giving up. I was going to spend the entire season, if that's what it took, to get a shot at this buck.
Alright guys, we just got set up. It's not exactly where I wanted to be sitting. I saw Torch come out last night 3 different times in the same spot. He's coming out of our thicket, coming out here checking does. We got a southeast wind, but there's quite a bit of east in it right now. And I wanted to be a little tighter up on him, but the wind's not going to let me do it, so I backed up and I'm sitting a little further out. Looks like my shot's probably going to be around 120 to 150-ish, depending on what he does. So I think tonight's the night. I think he's going to mess up. So stick with us if you're watching License to Kill Outdoors.
Torch didn't show up, but sooner or later, he's going to slip up and make a mistake.
License to Kill Outdoors is brought to you by Flying Arrow Archery.
changing blood trails forever. Comfy Hunter. Hunting just got comfy. Steady form. Shoot with confidence. Kishel's. Sense for success. Athens Archery. Engineered to kill.
Every season we go out and plant several food plots. We hang tons of covert scouting cameras, and all the preparation that we put into this, hanging our tree stands, clearing shooting lanes, just in hopes of having the opportunity at a mature buck. I remember it like it was yesterday. Chase sent me a picture. He had just checked all of our coverts and sent me a picture of this buck, and we nicknamed him Torch. And from that moment on, I just kind of had my heart set on him. And I was obsessed with this deer. I thought about him 24/7. I was thinking about what he was doing and how I could get on him and kill this deer. All right, guys, I got Chase running the camera. It's a real windy evening, but we got a perfect south wind to hunt Torch again. Last night, my mother and father-in-law went in kind of close to the area that he's been coming out. They could see him, and he did walk out just before dark, so we're headed in, and hopefully he does the exact same thing and gives us a good shot. So stick with us. You're watching License to Kill Outdoors, and we're not going to give up on him, so let's see what happens. I forgot the tripod back at the four-wheeler, so now I'm headed back to get set up. Floyd had to head on down and get his stuff set up before I got down there, so stick with us. I think tonight could be the night.
Alright guys, we got set up in here. The wind's blowing directly from where Torch should walk out, straight in our face. Last night he came out and ate corn, like the last 15 minutes of light. We're hoping he does the same thing tonight, so stick with us. Fingers crossed, we can put him on the ground. I got Chase running the camera, so the video's gonna be sexy.
Deer start pouring out into this thicket in front of us, and they're headed to this cut corn, no doubt in our mind. We had a great buck step into the field with us, but it turns out this buck wasn't Torch. He was a mature buck, and in most people's eyes, he would have been a shooter. And if I wouldn't have had my heart set on Torch, I might have shot this buck. But it wasn't what we went there for, so that's not what we're taking home with us. All right, guys, we slipped out of there, and as you could see, we had a heck of a night. It was a fun hunt. Everything worked out perfect. You know, we had that great mature 8-pointer come out, just a stud of a buck. He was at least 4.5 years old, maybe 5.5. Great buck by anybody's standards, but I've just got my heart set on Torch, and you know, when you got your heart set on something, it's just part of the game to me, and I'm just gonna keep grinding, and we'll get it done. We're gonna keep after him. You're watching License to Kill Outdoors. We're not gonna give up on him, so.
Visit ComfyHunter.com for our online store and more product information.
Alright guys, it's December 9th, and I'm back at it. It's an evening hunt. I'm setting over 2 cut cornfields, overlooking a giant thicket sanctuary, and the deer have just really started to jam up inside there. I'm hoping that this rain chills out and these deer move tonight. The buck I'm after's Torch, and hopefully, fingers crossed, that I can get it done tonight. If not, I'll see you tomorrow night, same time, probably the same place. Right here on License to Kill Outdoors.
Finally, we got the high pressure system that I'd been waiting for, where we're gonna have a perfect northwest wind. The unfortunate thing is I didn't have a cameraman, so I decided to do it myself. But I got out there, got all set up, and it started drizzling on me. So I had to take the camera, put it in the camera bag, and these deer started filing out into this cornfield just like I knew they would. So I just pulled the camera out, and I knew I had to leave it out and just cover it up and take a chance. These does were out in front of me feeding around, and it didn't take long and the buck started filing out after them.
Just as Floyd hoped, this storm front has the deer on their feet and out into the cut corn. Now, all he needs is a big buck.
I noticed that there was deer starting to come out to my right, but it was starting to get dark on me pretty quick. I looked over into the right field and I see Torch standing up at the top of it, and he starts working down this edge of this thicket. So I had to grab all my gear, spin it around, and I get on this buck finally, and it's now or never.
License to Kill Outdoors is brought to you by Clythol Lethal Layering System. Apparel like you've never experienced before. Hooker Deer Drag. Take a hooker to the woods with you. Hunter Safety System. Saving lives is what we do. Grizzly Coolers. For a lifetime. Catskill Mountain Calls. If I wouldn't put it in my turkey vest, I wouldn't put it in yours.
Closed captioning is brought to you by Twisted Tine Deer Mineral. Big buck development for the serious hunter.
Torch started making his way up the edge, so I got my traditions up, and I knew I was about to have the opportunity that I waited all season for.
That was the buck I'm after. It was Torch. I couldn't see anything because of the smoke, but it felt good. Fingers crossed. Hopefully I got that buck.
After I squeezed off the trigger, the smoke was so thick I couldn't see anything. But I did know one thing, the shot felt great. We went out and tried to find some blood, and we couldn't find anything. We found where the deer was standing, kick-up marks, and there was no blood, no hair, nothing. It was starting to drizzle, and it was going to be a long, sleepless night. All right, guys, we went back, replayed the video last night, and with the Traditions muzzleloader, the smoke off of it, it's hard to tell. Torch donkey kicks and tail tucked and runs into the thicket. It had been raining though, and the ground was covered, it was wet, so it was hard to find any blood, but me and Dad's gonna go in and check it out. Fingers crossed, hopefully we can find this big bruiser. So come on, see what we can find. So we didn't have anything to go on, but the direction that this buck ran in. And fortunately, Dad walked straight to this buck, and he is stone cold dead, and he did not shrink.
That is a stud.
Sorry, old buddy. When we walked up on this deer, the emotions that hit me, I can't even explain. I've worked so hard for this buck, and he consumed my life for a solid year. From the first time we got trail camera pictures of him to the first time I seen him, you go home and you dream about him walking out picture perfect and giving you the opportunity. And then when it all happens and you actually find the deer, words just can't explain the way it made me feel. I kind of made a commitment to myself that this season I was set out to kill Torch or nothing, and I passed a lot of great deer trying to do it, and I knew it was going to happen sooner or later. This buck had been showing up, on our covert cameras pretty regularly, but our gun season hit, and I hadn't seen the buck in about 2.5, 3 weeks, and I was starting to get a little worried. I had my Traditions muzzleloader, but I did make a good shot. We give him the night. We come back in this morning, and he didn't run 80 yards. It's kind of bittersweet. He consumed most of my life, but I couldn't be more happy. You're watching Licensed to Kill Outdoors. We made it out to the edge of the field, and our neighbor and good buddy Tim Davis was out there. He had caught wind that I'd killed this buck, and he was there to celebrate.
Yes, sir.
Finally. Thank you.
Yeah.
Although Tim had hunted all season for this buck, he was super excited for me because he knew how hard I'd worked for him.
Places. Look at this right here. I mean, that's
It turned out to be a great season, and I couldn't be more blessed. Just a prime example to all you guys out there that are busting your butts and working hard and dreaming of shooting a big deer. Just don't give up. Don't lower your standards. Whenever you think you're running out of time and you need to shoot a smaller deer because you're running out of time, no, you don't have to do that. Just wait and just keep pushing, and patience will pay off.
Thanks for watching this week's episode. We hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to check us out on the web at ltkoutdoors.com and give us a like on Facebook. Thanks. We'll see you again next week. Same time, same place, right here on License to Kill Outdoors.